Alright, this will be the last time you see my front bumper in a mercury gray color code, which is the stock one, for quite some time, because I'm about to go drop the car off to go ahead and get the front bumper wrapped up. Alright, so it is currently the following day. I couldn't show you guys the wrap. It was dark at night, so I figured I'd show you guys here during the daylight and kind of show you the color, because it's a lot different, and see how it picks up on the camera. But regardless, huge shout out to Chris Green over at CG Wraps. He knocked it out of the park. It looks seamless, and yeah, couldn't ask for anything different. So it took him about, I had the car dropped off for about 5 hours, so this is a kind of a more difficult wrap to use, pretty sticky, but he got it done. So again, huge shout out to CG Wraps. I'll leave his contact information down below if you're in the Florida Brevard County area, which is east of Orlando. A little closer view, you can see everything's nice and tucked away. Pretty happy. So he did do what I was gonna do, and that's with the inlays. So we have one right here, which isn't really that noticeable, especially from a distance, obviously, so not too bad. But now for the tricky part, we're gonna go ahead and roll her back into the garage, and I'm gonna attempt to do the rest of the car. Wish me luck. So I'm gonna go ahead and remove the mirrors, move the door handles, get that all nice and flush, and then I don't know what I'm gonna start with. Probably like the little C-pillar. So C-pillar, I'm talking about this whole portion here, all the way up, all the way to here. I think that's what I'm gonna go with first. Should be a little easier since that's the flatter portion of the car, and I'm not working with handles and stuff yet, so we'll see. Real quick, CG Wraps, there's his contact information, little pieces of artwork on the back. So I'm gonna try the rear bumper. I think that might be the second hardest portion on this car, just because of all the different grooves and how I'm gonna have to stretch it. So let's go ahead and take off this license plate, and we'll get her nice and clean. So now that we have the tail lights removed, we're gonna go ahead and clay bar our rear bumper portion. Make sure it's all nice and clean. You don't want any contaminants under there, because it will pop out with the vinyl, and it's gonna add additional lifespan to your wrap. You're not gonna have as many fails or air bubbles, things of that nature. So go to McGuire's, a little bit of clay bar, and let's go ahead and clean this. On the camera you can see it, but there's a little bit of like, I don't know, carbon, whatever you want to call that, carbon buildup. And you can see how this is taking it off right away. So one way to clean all that exhaust carbon comes right off, and that is why we clay bar the car before wrapping. Alright, with the bumper all cleaned up, ready to go, it's time to perform some surgery. I got some gloves. I don't want to be ripping or get my greasy hands all over the vinyl. I got my heat gun on standby as well. And yeah, of course our wrap. So it's going to come from here all the way around. So let's just see how this works. So I do have magnets placed on each side just to help hold it in place. here we are, day number 2. Ran out of time, got dark last night, but here this is. There's a lot of heat marks and stuff like that, but I'm gonna have extra vinyl that I'll go ahead and concentrate on this rear bumper again. If I got extra material like I think I do. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and start trying to trim up and see what we can do. We do have some more places to touch up here underneath. Just tuck that away, but yeah, like I said, it's not gonna be perfection, but it's a good start. Now that the rear bumper is done, we're going to go ahead and do the C panel. This rear quarter panel all the way down. Measured it out, it's 140 feet. Now that we got the mirror removed, we got the little window sill removed. Now let's go ahead and remove this door. Simple enough. Go ahead, pull it open. Door handle located right behind. You can find this little hole. Inside lays a T30 Torx bit. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. Let's go ahead and get that out of there. So door handle is removed. This is our lock. I really don't want to mess with that. It's okay. And then this is stripping, so I can't pull it out, which that'll be okay too. This gets hidden behind our door handle. I think I should be able to work around that. So that is done. We're gonna clean the door. Get ready to wrap the doors. But let me go ahead and take off this door handle real quick. So to save the headache that I just ran into, the rear door, it's actually pretty deep, and my socket was it's kind of thick on the end, so I couldn't actually reach the T30 bolt. So now that I have a screwdriver, another piece of tooling, I should be able to reach, which I do. But it's just a pain in the butt. There's always something on little projects, you know. Alright, after a whole bunch of tinkering, figuring some stuff out, finding the best way to do it, both door handles are removed, the little window trim is removed, and the mirror is removed. We can go ahead and get our wrap on here. Alright, doors have been clay barred, wiped down clean. I pulled down some of these weather strips from underneath. That way we can get some good coverage around the top side of our door. And yeah. Let's go ahead and get the wrap started. Alright, so full disclosure, I totally screwed myself when I went to go cut the door trims. So, a couple places were short, had to stretch it. You're going to see some stretch marks, but car's still dirty. We're going to go ahead and roll it out just to get a good rough idea how the color is, how bad I'm doing. Kind of sucks, but you know, practice makes perfect. Getting a little bit better as we're going on, but sadly it comes at a cost of a bad wrap job. It's just as bad as I thought it was going to be. So here's the work from Chris Green over at CG Wraps. Perfect, flawless, no stretch marks or anything like that. But like I said down here, when I went to cut the seam, it was pretty short, so I had to stretch material. As you can see, some wrinkles here, barely making it to full coverage. So the next doors, I'm gonna make sure I have my cuts all in order. All right, before we go over to the other side and start wrapping, let's go over some lessons learned so I can actually remember. So first thing, looking from the front, this, all right, so I'm gonna have to go and clean that up on the other side. Other than that, that little C-pillar came out really good. Watch my cutting. I think I cut off some rubber right here. What a noob. And then yeah, just the cutting of the panel itself, I was a little short, so yeah, I couldn't get full coverage in some areas like this. But right here on the mirror, did really well. Not too many mistakes there. Window trim removed, helped out a lot. Got full coverage there. If you peek in the middle, you can see right there. If I come a little higher, if I cut a little higher, I'll be able to get that fully covered. This glass trim piece is going to have to be removed. It gets in the way when I go to slide and get these window trims off, so I'll have to go buy a new gloss piece. Super messy. Up in here, you can actually see some silver. So to prevent that, cut a longer piece of vinyl and bring it out all the way to here. And that will cover up that silver area that's exposed right there. Again, watch out for the heat and stretching. Again, that's a result of just a wrongly sized vinyl working with it. And I'd get rid of all those creases and all that stuff by having more material on there. So that's where that came from. Again, another wrong cut. Over here you can see some more stretching. I did this panel at night. Wasn't aware I was stretching it that much, but I had a stretch there. I ended up cutting too short to just a little ghetto piece right there just to cover up some silver. Door handles, I really don't know what I'm gonna do about the door handles. I was just trying to hide everything from in the back side. Overall, it's not too bad. The white stuff you see is just the adhesive. It should go away here soon. Yeah, that's all for the other side. So take it as a lessons learned. As far as the body goes, I did pretty good at cleaning it up. And really there's no creases or anything crazy. All the stuff that happened was because I was trying to stretch it to the end of the panel, give myself more material to use, watch where I'm cutting, and that should prevent that. And get all up here is nice and good to go. Forgot to mention too, since this does have to come off, you can see the gloss side compared to the normal side. I'm going to run a piece of knifeless tape all the way across, that way it's one nice clean cut. So yeah, I'm going to start unbolting the mirror and the window trims over there, and maybe I'll wait for Heather and she can help me get this all done. I think 2 people is definitely going to be the way to go. Alright, have our material laid out. I'm going past where we need to go, and then I'm going to give myself a little bit more just to make sure. We want to make sure we get all the way back to where the tail light goes. So I think if we cut right about here, we're going to be good. So here's a nice little wrap cutter, and cuts it nice and straight. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to day 3. So we got the rear bumper done. I got the driver's side done. Overnight I did have Heather's help. I was able to cut down the vinyl. So we did the C-pillar. Got the rear passenger door halfway done. Just got to trim up everything. And then all we got left to do is the driver's side, or is the passenger side door. And we should be finished with the passenger side of the car, minus the fender. Alright, I think this is by far my best piece of work on the car so far, this rear passenger door. So, a couple things I fixed up. Right, so I did not break the gloss trim this time. You can actually remove it without breaking it. I just pretty much hulked it. But all up in here, this is all nice and tight. Oops. This is all nice and tight, comes all the way down, tucks way up in there. Down here I paid a little more attention to my cuts. Again, the white stuff is the adhesive. It should go away here soon. I can probably tuck that a little bit better. Yeah, full coverage. Full coverage along the door. There's a little bit of specks on here from like dirt, but that's like embedded into the paint. You can see through. There's no silver showing. I pulled the vinyl a little out more. And then right up in here, this even tucks up all the way against the wall, so it's not showing anything. So far so good. I'm happy with the results. And the car is definitely transforming though. All those marks you see are just like some sweaty hands and stuff. They'll come off. A lot better. So everything came out pretty good, as you guys saw on the time lapse. Everything is looking nice, glossed out. So let's go ahead and put back our trim pieces for the mirror, the window trim, and then we'll figure out what we want to do about that door handle. But looking good.